Hey guys, I just wanted to say thank you for using my creator code whenever you purchase any Sims 4 DLC on the EA app or thesims.com. I receive a 5% commission each time you use my code, which means you're directly supporting me as a creator. I know there are a lot of codes floating around out there, so I am very grateful that you've chosen me to support in this way. Thank you so much. Hey guys, it is MissSimReno. If you are returning to the channel, welcome back. And if you're brand new, I am very excited that you decided to join me here today for another apartment renovation and a continuation of our Not So Berry builds. And this one, y'all, I really like this one. I really liked it. This gen was so interesting and fun for me. I can't say it's necessarily my favorite. I think Mint Gen pretty much wins out for me still because it was the first build I did and it was just so different and I loved it. But anyway, okay, so we're building for the Orange Gen this time, which is Gen 7? I think it's 7. Yeah, 8, 9, 10, or 6? Is it 6? I don't remember, but it's the gen after Plum, which we did last week. We did an RV. So this week is for the Orange Gen. And this is so fun because you have to live in a needs TLC apartment for a majority of actually for the entirety of your young adult life. So I jumped into 1321 Chic Street because this one specifically, a lot of you all on the post tab, when I inquired about which needs TLC apartment we should actually renovate, the second somebody mentioned the chalk body outline in this apartment, I was like, done. We need to do it. We need to do it because there's another needs TLC apartment, but it's really, really big. This one's a lot smaller, and I thought it suited kind of the backstory as well for this gen. So I'll give you a little bit of insight. So you're the black sheep of the family, but with orange hair. Yes, I get it because, you know, not Sperry. Anyway, and you were raised in a hectic household. You always wanted to cause mayhem, but you're just really bad at being evil. You enjoy breaking into your neighbors' houses and eating their food. You really love baking and spend the majority of your spare time eating sweets. Now, I didn't go over the traits for the last one, but this one's just too good. So the traits are evil, self-assured, and glutton. The aspiration is public enemy, and your career is the criminal career. And since you kind of grew up, I think it doesn't explicitly say it. I feel like, yeah, here we go. Because the next gen is the pink gen and they grew up poor and living paycheck to paycheck. So I would assume that with orange gen, since they raised the pink gen, that they lived in kind of a more like rundown needs TLC apartment, obviously, and that money was tight. So I thought that we were going to take the route here, as you can see, like with the bedroom and everything. I mean, there's like a lot of DIY furniture. The walls are literally unfinished for a majority of this home. We have that entire wall of just like classified newspaper ads because again, they're criminal. It was just so fun. I got to use a lot of the career reward items from the criminal career. That is base game, of course. And there's like these tools of espionage. We have like a duffel bag of money. There's a suitcase of money that comes with something as well. One thing I did forget was the vintage baseball bat sculpture that leans against the wall. I wanted that near the door. And I also thought that this was kind of ironic to put a burglar alarm in the burglar's apartment, basically. I don't know. It was so fun to make this kind of dingy, but still warm and fully furnished. It was super fun. And this wallpaper, if you're wondering, is from the Artist Studio kit. We probably have some others that resemble this. Like if you didn't have that kit, I think there's one, it's technically like a soundboard, I think, for music studios, but it came with Get Famous. It slightly resembles this, different colors and whatnot, but it could work. And I also had to build in a different save file for this. Not that you care, but because I actually used the tool mod at one point to remove all the needs TLC items. And I wanted to make sure that this was entirely playable for you all, so I needed those items back and I didn't know where they were. So this was a challenge because I actually had to work with the layout of the apartment and where those items were to figure out how the heck I was going to furnish it. But as you can see, we are working on the kitchen now and it's rather small, but I liked it. I went with a lot of warm wood tones and I tried to tie in orange as well. I could have gone with like the honey woods because those are very orangey as well, but I decided not to. I decided to go kind of like dark, dingy, mismatched in some places. It was just a load of fun to do this. And adding the little things like the little baked fruit cake and the little sweet treats there from Get Together, like adding those things was so funny to me because it's just it's the dichotomy between this evil sim who's like a terrible, terrible criminal, but like they love baking. So to kind of like wallow in their terribleness, they just bake a lot and eat a lot of baked goods. And maybe if they pursued something else, like they could be a baker and have a really successful business and a very happy life. But instead they have chosen to try to prove to the world that they are evil, that they're a criminal mastermind, you know? And even in their own house, they leave things out around, like they leave things around the apartment, like duffel bags of money and like gold bars and stuff, because they're like, look, I swear I'm a criminal and I'm really good at it. And just no one believes them. It just tickled me. I also wanted them to have a cat because, again, I feel like they have this softer side to them. Like they love baking and maybe they have a cat. I want names for this cat. I want this cat to be diabolical. Okay. We all know, look, I'm a cat person. I love my cat very much. They are evil little monsters who they're like Sour Patch Kids. They're sour and then they're sweet. That's what they are. That's cats in a nutshell. I need a name for this cat. I need a name because it would just bring the whole story together, okay? I also added that stolen ATM. I thought that was such a nice touch. I think it came with, actually, does that come with the criminal careers and unlock as well? Because we have like some debug or live edit objects ATMs from City Living, but I don't think there's the stolen one. I think that's from the career itself. I'm not sure. I also used this really dingy, beat up couch from Werewolves. Look, this apartment brought me so much joy. There is kind of an industrial vibe. I was a little bit worried because like I've mentioned this for Mint Gen, for Rose Gen, and I believe even Yellow Gen, there were a lot of industrial elements. So I was a little bit worried about bringing those elements into another not so berry build, but I feel like it just worked for this and I couldn't resist. So we have like the bed from the industrial loft kit. We have this kind of DIY coffee table from Eco Lifestyle and the industrial style bookcase from Base Game and stuff like that. But I just thought it worked. I did. As well as the windows. These windows are just perfect. I love using these windows in apartments, especially in Myshuno. I basically can't stop myself. I also added the little rotary phone right next to that stolen ATM. Maybe they get like a call on their rotary phone so you can't track it as easily to go out on their criminal jobs. It just seemed so fun. Now, the only thing I will note is that I did have to move the bike for your sim to be able to get into the apartment. I kind of knew that when I placed it down. So I think when I uploaded it to the gallery, I got rid of the bike, but I may not have. So just be aware of that. The bike will cause a problem. I'll probably have to answer that question on the gallery a ton of times, but I did it to myself if I didn't remove it before I uploaded it. And I think the only other thing that I wasn't able to fully playtest is the litter box in the bathroom, because I did have to move the hamper in the bathroom because it was blocking my Sim's ability. For some reason, they couldn't even reach the hamper. So I had to move the hamper out into the hallway, I think. So they were able to grab the clothes and successfully add them to the washer and whatnot. But it was the litter box I wasn't able to fully test. So just be cognizant of that. It might have to be moved. I'm not quite sure, but this is pretty much it for this build. I just genuinely had so much fun. I hope you'll enjoy this one. I cannot wait to hear your thoughts, and I will catch you next time I post a video, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.